Welcome to Gray Overload, and I'm going to do my review of what my thoughts are on the Framework 13 AMD Ryzen AI 370HX, I think is the name. I don't know what the name of the processor is anymore. AMD made it too complicated, and the old way was better than what AMD started naming these things. But anyways, we'll get over the naming. I did something on that. But the Framework 13, right? I'm upgrading. Now this is a full DIY kit, so this is all the new stuff, new hardware in there. I did buy my memory separate, and I just carried over my SSD from the 12th gen. Did that upgrade. It actually worked pretty seamless. If you install the drivers for this laptop, and then you put the drive in, it boots up, you have wireless and everything, and you're off to the races. Install the drivers again. They recommend, which I did again, make sure all the chipsets and everything are there. And one thing I will give Framework credit for on the AI 300 and even the 7040s from AMD is that they are updating the BIOS and having a good driver cadence update to make sure they're staying on top of even AMD drivers and AMD chipset drivers there for graphics drivers and chipset. So I do appreciate that. Now, you can also enable AMD to automatically update those on their own and grab those directly, but I think it's also a nice to have where a company that's distributing a laptop is also keeping up on making sure those drivers are updated in their uh, repositories so that they are on the latest if you have to restart or anything else, or wipe and start clean. I think that's a good option there. One thing I like about Framework is the repairability. They also have you look at the back side, you get your 5 screws, you take those out, you're into the laptop. You can also replace your different if I can do this with one hand. Oh, there we go. So you can also take out these cards and replace the cards, which I actually do quite a bit. So I replace those cards in and out, especially if I'm doing network stuff or helping out an area or business or whatever with network, and I want to plug in, be able to access things a little bit better. I do that. Works really well. There also swap out between USB-Cs and USB-As a lot, depending upon what I'm using at that time. If I had my mouse through Bluetooth, I think we'd be in a much different scenario. But still, I'm using an old Microsoft mouse. That still seems to work, but maybe one day I'll switch over to Bluetooth, which is probably not a bad idea overall for this laptop. So I really do like it. One thing I will complain about here is, you can open it. It's got the new hinges, so I like the new hinges and everything. And so it turns on, but if I hold it like this, so I don't know if that can really see, sometimes you get the little separation right there along the crease, and you hear a little click click because that's the two metals where the cover come, or where the keyboard cover and trackpad cover come down and are screwed to this. Now everything's screwed tight, but that is something where I like the quality be a little stiffer on those sides, because I tend to hold it, like that a lot. So if I'm going to hold this like this, that's a sign where it's going to go. And this side I think is a little bit better. I hold it equally on either side, left-handed or right-handed, and so this, and then I carry the laptop around like this a lot. But if I'm carrying it more in the center, or if I it's 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 also, if you do like a jerky movement, like that'll happen. But you're putting stress on that angle, right? And that's causing a little bit of problem. Do I recommend you doing it? No, but I'm also understand that if I break this, I'm probably going to have to get a new chassis. And yeah, we've already done that once. If you want, well, there's a chassis over there on my shelves that's all bent up. There's a video on that on this channel too, if you want to check that out. Actually, a great option for it. But interchanging the bezels is a nice to have, especially if you like the bezels here, or different bezels. And this is the transparent one. I like where that is. I like the 2.8K screen. The performance on this with the 12 core and the GPU on here, which I think is 16 CU GPU, works really well. I really like what they've done there for performance. And the battery life, the 61 watt hour battery on here is amazing overall. with this processor. I mean, it is really amazing. I thought the 12th gen was pretty good on battery overall, and I was pretty happy with where it was in battery. But then coming up to this one, I'm shocked at how much better battery life is. I mean, there's been times where I've gone well over 8 hours just this on battery, just taking around the house and everything else. And I don't, on the 12th gen, I knew, okay, at some point I do have to, especially if I watch a lot of video, I know I have to go plug this in, make sure it starts charging. On this one, I don't have that at all. I mean, it works really well. That's one thing I probably would upgrade my uncle to, is get the bigger battery. I know that he's got the 55, probably jump up to the 60 at some point once it goes there. But that's the nice thing about it, if my uncle didn't need a laptop, wanted to upgrade and stuff, and I was selling it to him, I probably would have just upgraded the inners if I realized how much better these were. But he wanted a laptop and got it, so now he's got the framework. He's got that upgradability too. The nice thing about it is that if people get rid of parts of a framework, and that's better than yours, guess what? You can get upgrades. And I think that's a awesome thing to have in the ecosystem as more and more people are buying frameworks and working towards it. So that's the one thing I would say out of this, is that you get that upgradability, you get a lot of that stuff. You can even put these frameworks into, shells and use those for around the house if you need to, and on different systems if you want, TVs, whatever. I have a multitude of ideas in my head of what I would use them for. So I like a lot of that stuff as well too. This also has the phase change, was it the Honeywell phase change, like thermal pad there on the CPU, GPU, which I think does a great job overall keeping those temps down. I noticed my fan doesn't really kick up that much. It's pretty reasonable. And I put it through a lot of different things just to try to see how, in this past month that I've had it, how it really works, and how well is it. I'd say these fans are a little bit quieter. I wish I had like actual data on a DB monitor this, but a little bit quieter than the old 12th gen. So I had the i5 1240p, which is wasn't at the top line, wasn't the i7, right? But it was a very competent laptop. I played games on it, had fun, in the multitude of years I've had it, and it got everything I wanted done. And I wasn't necessarily thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to go to the 370 just because, what do I need something that powerful? I'm like, no, I don't think so. But I will say this, I'm quite impressed with what it's capable of doing, and having it here now, the 370, being able to play a game on it. It's not going to be the latest and greatest technologies like my desktop, like all my desktops even older, but it's not going to be able to match my desktop, right, in performance, or even the desktop I made on this channel lately, right? Those are just not going to match. But what it does do is able to, be, hey, this is a game I can play. I can sit down and play it, have fun, take it on the go, play a game, and it works, and it works well. So I do appreciate stuff like that. In fact, I did a little testing of the game. Now this isn't going to be exactly apples to apples. It's going to be a little bit different here, and that's because this has the higher res screen on it, right? This has a better screen on this one, the 2.8K matte screen, versus the other one, what is it, like a 2K, 2.2, someplace in there, of what they call it, screen. And that was the first glossy one. This is the new matte. And what happened is that I did, set Age of Empires. I played them both for an hour. I've done a little bit more gaming on it just to see, how it ran versus the old one. And with the old 12th gen, right, it was dusty and everything else. So that got repasted. That got everything cleaned out before I ran the test. Made sure I went through with everything, and then played, over an hour on that. Well, I did some other stuff. Made sure the pace was all there. Made sure cooling was much better. Did all those tests because I want to make sure I'm giving my uncle, something top notch. Put some good thermal paste on there. Would have done the phase change, but I didn't have time. I should have thought of that earlier, but I didn't. Sometimes you just miss on that. But going through and everything else, right? On the average, from the 12th gen to the new AI 300, so Ryzen 300, 370HX, I should say, 370 in here. So this should be a lot more powerful, right? You're jumping from 44 frames up to 54 frames per second. Your lows are 30 frames versus 39 frames here, and then your highs are 70 frames versus 78 frames on here. So you see it's got a nice little jump, and while it averages 54, you'll see a lot more jumps up, and you don't get as many dips on the new 370HX. Now, I expected that, right? This isn't shocking to anybody, or it shouldn't be shocking, right? You get better performance on newer hardware, but that has more cores in it, right? This kind of makes sense. But the 12th gen did hold its own. It's not any slouch. It supports Windows 11, same version there on both. Only thing difference was I also added the AMD drivers in the newer one. So uh, yeah, same SSD, right? Different memory a little bit there, right? DDR5, 32 gigs versus the DDR4 and 16 gigs on that one. So uh, yeah, I like 48 gigs, but we all know where memory prices were when I was buying this, and well, that was not in the cards to spend that extra money. So, overall, would I buy this again? Yeah, I think the framework has a great option here. I think if you want more tests like performance or whatever else, I think that's something we can go through and maybe just do a performance test. I'm seeing this more of a review of if I'm looking at buying a laptop, right? Is this something to consider? And I think it is. I like the keyboard and I like the trackpad. They work really well overall, and in everyday use, this is something I would consider. Now, do I really like the repairability? I really like the repairability. That's something I'm going to enjoy and pick every single time. Popping this open, being able to replace stuff. Like I said, there's that one accident that I had where I had my laptop on top of my SUV. Oh, I was cleaning it, waxing it, and I guess I did a good job because I thought it was a flat enough surface. It was not a flat enough surface, and it slid off, hit the corner, and dented up because it was open, so it was playing stuff. So it dented up the bottom corner here, and as you can see, like just opening this up, right? It goes and it lights up pretty quick. So that was one thing that I, like a lot is that you can repair stuff, you can get it back. It starts up quick. The keyboard works really well. It's very responsive overall, and I'll do a review of a keyboard. I don't know what order I'm doing these in Christmas week. I got to edit all this stuff. I'm just doing a whole bunch of recording, and one day trying to get some stuff out for you guys over the Christmas break. And I use a Digma Raise 2 every single day. So really like the Digma stuff, and the keyboards. I have two of them, one for work, one for my personal rig, and they work really well. So this is nothing like that, but this is serviceable, got good feedback, something I can type on for long periods of time, and it's something I take everywhere to be able to work on stuff when I'm doing anything that somebody needs help with, going up traveling and stuff. This is the computer I take, right? I have a work laptop that's a Dell, right? I take that places too for all my day job stuff, and that keyboard is comparable, I think, to this keyboard, and that's something that I like to see. If keyboards are pretty similar, I don't mind switching back and forth. It's not so bad that I would not use it, right? It's got lights on it, which I think is important. Overall, the quality of it, I think the quality is really good. I did say where, sometimes you pick it up and you hear that little, creaking. The one other area that got this up again and I'm like, oh yeah, when I log in, when I lit up the screen, it reminded me of this, is you look at the power button. If you can see that, oh man, that's going to be just horrible to try to get on the screen here. It is not exactly flush. Now my 12th gen button was exactly flush. My wife's button is exactly flush for that power button and that fingerprint sensor. My brother's is exactly flush. My uh, my other brother, one that he sold to my sister, is exactly flush. This one is sitting down. Now I've taken it apart, great thing about the laptop, right? You can take it apart, removed it and everything else. It looks like what happened is that the plastic is not set right. Is this something I'm going to do a warranty issue on? No, to me it's minor, right? I don't see a need to get rid of it and get a new one, but it is something that I will put out there. That is, I think, a quality issue that Framework can improve upon and make sure that when the plastic parts on the back of the button, because how it is like what is it, like two screws and then one screw on the other side with a long plastic piece that comes that kind of holds the button up so that you can touch it and you have that little feedback. I think that is, I just touched it now and it just logged on quick. But that's one thing I think that we can have a little improvement on. Other than that, I didn't see any other quality issues, right? I was inside of it, I built with it, I put it together, keyboard works well, trackpad works well. Framework did a really good job of this. In fact, the new box packing is quite impressive. They made it a lot easier, more streamlined. I think it's easier for people to get out of the boxes because I was looking through. I've had 3 of them. Now I've recycled finally 2 of the other boxes that have came, right. I had one for the repair parts. I've had the 12th gen and then I had the 300. And I will say this is that the packaging has been better in the last 2 than the 12th gen, which was a lot of boxes being opened and a lot of extra. I think they made it easier for people to be able to put together and be able to get their laptop up and running than, especially in the DIY version, than the first generations that they were having out. So would I get this again? Yes, I would. In fact, if I ever have to upgrade this, maybe it's just new inner parts. Maybe it is something else, another chassis or another new one, and then this is given to somebody else. But yeah, I think that they're good, and I think this is one laptop that people really should consider if other manufacturers are not going to go through and create a repairable laptop, which at this point, if Frameworks keeps taking off, I think other companies will look at it and be like, you know what, maybe this is something we do have to consider. I do like having all the parts online. I do like being able to look at them. I do like being able to service this laptop and make sure it can last a while. I mean, I'm guessing at some point, as my kids want to go, go on later in life, maybe go to college and whatever they want to do there, I'm guessing they're going to want a laptop or something. And guess what? They're going to get probably a Framework 13. I know there's a Framework 12, but that 13 with the power, with the size, all they need is a touchscreen. And I think they actually got this where a lot of people would really hook on. I know a lot of people do ask me, like, does Framework have a touchscreen? And the older they are, they don't want to go smaller than the 13. They want to stay in the 13 or bigger and have a touchscreen. So maybe we'll get that too someday. But let me know your thoughts and questions below in comments. If you have a Framework 13, if you have a Framework 16, let me know. I have not had one of those yet, but I think that they are a great option as well. I think Framework did some really good stuff there in that generation. I like to try out a 12 too. I think that'd be interesting to have, but I, I'm not made of money. Wish I was. That'd change things. But I think that they did a really good job on the 13 overall. This chassis seems to be a really good winner overall. I really like it, and it's something that you should consider if you're looking for a laptop, especially for somebody going to college, especially if you're want something that you're working around. I think that this could work really good in like even mechanic shops and stuff that need to have a laptop to go. And instead of, they got the fancy computers now too, but if you're using a laptop because the software is on there to program stuff, would be a really good one too, because if you're throwing it around and stuff, the chassis can't hold up, and if you break something, guess what? It's not a whole new laptop either. It's just the repaired parts. So let me know what you guys think on all this stuff and on the Framework, what you would suggest as well. I think there's a lot of good stuff out there, but I like the repairability, and that's one big selling factor to me. And I appreciate all of your support on the channel, and hopefully you have a great Christmas and happy and New Year. And so hopefully you enjoy that here. And until next time, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell icon, watch some other videos. That really does help with the channel. And God bless.